At the beginning of this story, we see Victor Frankenstein, whose constant desire is to achieve something great in his life. One night, he visits a circus where a beautiful girl is performing. During her performance, the girl falls from a great height and gets severely injured. Here, we meet Igor, who has a back problem. His back was hunched, due to which he couldn't walk properly, and he is very fond of this girl. Due to the fall, the injured girl was struggling to breathe. But Igor figures out what her problem is and how to fix it because Igor had a lot of knowledge about human anatomy. He knew all this because he was a hunchback, and he had done a lot of prior study to fix his hunched back. He didn't have a degree, but he was no less than a doctor, and in a short while, he saves the girl's life, and she starts breathing again. Victor is also watching all this and is quite surprised. He goes to Igor and asks him how he did all this. Igor tells him that he has read many books. Hearing this, Victor tells him that he is wasting his time in this circus. He tells him to come with him, and he will show him a new life. The ringleader, or the owner of the circus, also overhears their conversation. He gets very angry because Igor wanted to leave. So, he locks Igor in a cage and threatens him that if he even thinks about leaving, he will hand him over to the police. He tells Igor that he is his slave and all the human body education he has gained until now was from stolen books and the police will not take any time to catch him. A short while later, Victor Frankenstein arrives there and frees Igor from the cage, and they start to flee. Other people from the circus also see them and chase them. But with great difficulty, Victor brings Igor back to his home. Upon reaching home, Victor first uses some injections and medicines to remove the pus or dirty material from inside Igor's back so that his body posture can be corrected, and he recovers significantly. He is able to stand properly on his feet for the first time, meaning he is no longer a hunchback and can walk correctly. On the other hand, we see a police officer who is investigating some local murders and Igor's disappearance. Victor tells Igor that he is working on an experiment called reversal of death. This means he can bring dead humans or other animals back to life. But for this, he has a lot of work to do, and Igor will help him. Here, he also shows human eyes in a container, which start moving when he passes current through them. Igor was so smart that he tells Victor to correct a mistake. He tells him that he hasn't attached the eyes properly. Seeing this, Victor is very happy that Igor corrected his mistake, and he becomes very impressed. Therefore, he now makes Igor his assistant. As time passes, they both bring to life body parts of some dead animals. They want to create a giant chimpanzee from the body parts of different dead animals, which would look nothing less than a monster. After working, Victor and Igor go to a party where Igor meets the same beautiful girl they saw in the circus earlier. The girl doesn't recognize Igor, but Igor still loves her deeply. Here, Victor tells him to stay away from that girl. He tells him that she is a distraction, and if his focus shifts to that girl, he won't be able to work. Anyway, they both return home. Here, for the first time, we see that monster chimpanzee, oddly bound in electric wires. Now it's time to pass electricity through this dead chimpanzee to bring it back to life. Igor is very confused here, but his confusion is resolved when the dead chimpanzee starts moving. This means their experiment has been successful. The next day, to prove his science, Victor Frankenstein takes the chimpanzee to his university. There are some difficulties here, but when the chimpanzee comes to life, it runs around and starts attacking people, causing harm. Seeing this, Victor Frankenstein kills his own creation, the chimpanzee. Victor is also expelled from his university here because he used unconventional methods. Here, some of his classmates, who were sons of very rich fathers, tell Victor that they will provide him funding. They tell him to continue this experiment and also say that he will create artificial humanoids for them. These would be creatures they could create according to their wishes and who could help them with other tasks. Besides this, they offer him a lot more money. Here we see Igor. He doesn't want to work with these people. But Victor Frankenstein ignores Igor and accepts the rich classmate's offer. Igor also agrees with him because Victor had given him a new life. Today, he can walk properly, his back is fine, and his life was saved. Victor had done him many favors, so Igor is ready to support him. The next day, the same police officers come to Victor's house to investigate the case. They also knew that an attempt was made to revive the chimpanzee at the university. These officers did not have a warrant to search the house, so Victor doesn't let them search the house and they leave disappointed. Here, Igor meets the circus girl he loves. She tries to explain to Igor, telling him to stop Victor from doing such experiments or he will create another monster. They spend some more time together. When Igor is returning home from there, he sees the same police officer and his partner breaking down the door of the house. Igor quickly enters through another door and tells Victor to run away. He tells him that his investor, his classmate, has already made arrangements for their escape. But Victor is not running away and starts destroying all the machines there because he doesn't want these machines to fall into anyone else's hands. Just then, the police officer enters and tries to stop them at gunpoint, but they are not going to stop. The police officer and Victor start fighting. After a lot of fighting, Victor pushes him, due to which his hand gets caught in a large gear and his hand gets cut off. On the other side, both of them sit in a horse-drawn buggy and go to their friend who funded this project. Here, the investor, their friend, gives them a lot more money. He tells them to work on his project and create an artificial human. Now, since it was not safe to work here, the investor tells him to go to Scotland. He tells him that he has a family bungalow there and he can work there quietly and openly. Here, Igor once again tells Victor not to get involved in all these troubles. But Victor doesn't listen to him and goes to Scotland to work on his experiments. As soon as he leaves, the rich investor comes to Igor and tells him that as soon as this experiment is complete, he will kill Victor and use his artificial human as a weapon. He explains that since it will be artificial, no bullet will affect it, and no one will be able to kill it. As soon as he says all this, Igor is tied up and thrown into the water. But with great difficulty, Igor unties himself, saves his life, and gets out of the water. After this, he goes to the same circus girl and tells her that Victor's life is in danger and they need to save him now. Therefore, they both go to Scotland together to tell Victor that his life is in danger. Upon reaching there, they tell Victor everything, that he is being played and his life is in danger. But despite knowing all this, Victor wants to continue this experiment because he reveals a secret. Many years ago, there was a storm in which his elder brother died. Somewhere, Victor blames himself for his brother's death and wants to bring his elder brother back to life through this experiment. Now, in a short while, the investor and the police officer also arrive there while Victor is conducting his experiment. During the experiment, there is a lot of overloading, meaning a lot of electricity is generated, which causes destruction everywhere. Everything is destroyed, and their machine also blasts very badly, and due to this blast, the investor dies right there. The police officer tells Victor that no one else but he himself is behind all this destruction. All this is happening because of him. During this conversation, the created monster gets up from its place and starts moving. Seeing this, Victor is somewhat happy that perhaps his experiment has succeeded. Victor tries to talk to the monster, but it doesn't say anything and stands in one place. The police officer was very scared because this monster looked quite dangerous, and he takes out his gun and shoots towards himself, which causes a lot of pain to the monster. The monster then attacks the police officer and kills him. After that, the monster also starts fighting with Victor and Igor, harming them as well. But eventually, they both fight hard and kill the monster. At the end of the movie, Victor is shown sitting by the sea. There, he writes a letter to Igor, in which he tells him that he can meet that girl, whom he had initially forbidden him from meeting. Besides this, Victor has also apologized to him in that letter because Igor repeatedly told him not to do this, but he didn't listen to him at all. And with this, the movie ends here. This is Parrot Holmes, thanks for watching.